Veeam is so excited to be attending Black Hat 2026. My name's Emilee, part of the Veeam strategy team, and I'm joined by Derran. Derran, you want to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Emilee. Yeah, my name's Derran Guinan. I'm a field CTO for Veeam covering the Americas. I'm super excited to be going to Black Hat this year.
Absolutely. And Derran, I've heard, so is this your first time going to Black Hat, or have you been to other cybersecurity conferences?
Believe it or not, with 20 plus years focused on security, this is going to be my first Black Hat. So I'm super excited to take in the whole experience.
Awesome, awesome. I know for me, I've been twice, so this is going to be my second time attending. Really looking forward to kind of seeing, kind of all the thoughts and ideas that were being shared 2 years ago when, AI was kind of just starting to make a little bit of noise. And now, as we are in 2026, I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about how organizations are leveraging AI within their own environments, but then also we're probably going to hear a little bit about how those bad actors are leveraging AI as well. Darren, do you have any thoughts in terms of that? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's
your conversations around AI are pretty are very common and frequent.
Yeah, absolutely. What a change in the last 2 years. We've been talking about AI for over 2 years, but what a radical change we've had 2026 with agents taking over across the board. So I'm really excited to see not the average conversation about AI anymore, but I want to see more conversation targeting about what agents are doing, how we're identifying what agents are doing, and how we're protecting against it. So I'm really excited to see if the conversation is evolving.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a full week to kind of dive into all of this. So that's going to be very exciting. And hey, Veeam also is going to be featured there as a speaker. So
Yeah.
Wednesday, August 5th from 2:30 to 3, Mandalay Bay K, make sure that you grab a seat to go and join the Veeam session. It's going to actually be our very own chief president of products. So Rayhan is going to be leading that conversation, and he's going to be joined by a guest speaker from Anthropic, which is really exciting, Mr. Rob Baer. And so very interested to check out this session. They're going to be talking about outsmarting high-speed vibe hacking, ransomware and rogue agents. So, I mean, there's a lot of topic in there that we can probably cover from just, how ransomware has evolved from the very beginning till now. You just mentioned the rogue agent, right? We have a lot of organizations that are deploying agents that are trying to leverage them to boost productivity, help make automation and their lives simpler. But, what happens when you give too many permissions to an agent and it now has access to go take action across your organization, right? And how do you stop that? How do you have better observability? How do you contain the blast radius? Really excited for them to kind of dive down deep into what they're going to be speaking about here. Derran is somebody that, I see you always messing around with Claude and a few others. What are some of your thoughts
Yeah.
here? Have you experienced any of this? Have you had any agents that you've created gone rogue?
Well, great intro there, but I would consider myself absolutely a vibe coder, using the Claude AI as much as possible. I do have a few agents in the background that are running. To my knowledge, they have not been running amok, if you will, but I'm really excited about this presentation overall. Like we have Rayhan, who, really dynamic speaker. He's going to be talking about a lot of what Veeam is doing. We have Rob Baer from Anthropic, which is pretty much leading the charge nowadays. So this is really going to be, I'm really excited for this conversation to see where it goes and to really hear what Rob is seeing, where the future is going to go. This is going to be good. I'm really excited about this.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I have to just throw a little sneak peek in there, right? I mean, just based upon what Anthropic has done over the years, has been tremendous. And, one of the things they actually posted last year was their Anthropic Threat Intelligence Report. And so this is actually available. You can go and you can download this today, right? But essentially, if you all recall, back in August, they were in the news. You had Hacker News, you had Dark Reads, you had everybody was posting
Yeah.
about, this particular case in which Anthropic disrupted an AI-powered cyber attack that was doing a full AI ran extortion campaign, and it was all done from a single actor that leveraged Cloud Code to help to automate theft and extortion, and right, and it ended up targeting about 17 organizations back in July. So, a very, very interesting read to kind of go through and see how, you know, as much as we leverage AI for our day-to-day lives to help drive better productivity, make our lives easier, AI is also lowering that barrier to entry for some of those threat actors out there that, beforehand probably would have had to go and find some type of third party or somebody else that could help them to, either code or to run
Yeah.
these different types of cyber extortion campaigns. And now, with the power of AI, they can do it themselves. I know you, Derran, you spend a lot of time, especially out in Canada, and a lot of your conversations have been around some of these capabilities, especially at some of the Be Connected events we had. Just kind of your thoughts here, like is our CISOs, are the security teams that you're speaking to, like, are they thinking about this? What's kind of been like their pulse in terms of ways in which they're looking to build better defenses against AI powered threats.
Oh, yeah, this is a great use case, and I think it's very timely, even though it's August 2025. Back then, you think of this as running Claude Code at the beginning. Now we have Claude Coworker, and we have, as I mentioned earlier, all these agents that are running amok. So this was the beginning of leveraging AI in a more automated fashion with the code part. But now we're seeing far, far more with what agents can do, and let's not just talk about one agent. When you start to daisy chain a bunch of agents together for different purposes, different parts of the attack, if you will, different steps of who you're targeting, the how much you should be asking from the ransom, it can go a long way. And definitely, I am seeing that across the board from when I have conversation with CISOs. There's a lot of things resonating with them nowadays, and protecting against AI agents is definitely top of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just adds an additional area in which we need to start thinking about, what does that layered defense strategy look like? How are we training teams to recognize this rogue behavior? What
Yeah.
observability tools are out there to help us to kind of bubble up some of those actions early so that way we can try to mitigate as best as possible. But, I'm really excited. This is going to be a portion of what they're going to be discussing, and I'm sure they're going to be a wealth of knowledge in terms of what
Sure.
Anthropic is doing to help to create some safer guidelines or some guardrails for customers. And I'm sure Rayhan's also going to do a fantastic job explaining about how Veeam can help when it comes to these types of risk that can potentially impact an end user. So really excited to hear about their talk. Make sure you get there early because it's going to be limited seating available. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, I mean, Veeam's just not speaking at Black Hat, right? But we're also going to have a booth. So come check us out. Come see Veeam in action. We're going to be at booth 4911. It's going to be in the business hall. You can stop by. There's going to be live demos. We're also going to have some other giveaways there. And also, if you haven't registered yet, I know registration closes or soon, probably by the end of this month in July.
Yeah.
But if you haven't registered, make sure you leverage our code. You could go ahead and get a discount on one of those briefing passes. And so, yeah, very excited to see you all there and to come stop by the booth. I know I'll be hanging out at the booth for some portions of the week. Derran, I'm sure either you're going to be at the booth or are you going to be hanging out in our leaders lounge?
I'm going to be doing both, and I really do encourage people to come by the booth because this is where you can actually see Veeam technology running, demoed, real life, proof in the pudding, if you will. So this is where we're going to have our dedicated SEs. They're going to be running. Anybody who wants to see different aspects of what Veeam can do right through it, so you get to see it right there and then. So I'm really excited about that. But to your point, Emilee, we do have a leaders lounge, if you will. Why don't we review that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're attending Black Hat, like myself and Derran, let's have a conversation, right? Grab a coffee, grab a tea, come hang out inside of our leaders lounge. It's going to be at Orla, right outside of the main conference area. And that's going to be open from Tuesday through Thursday. So you'll have access there. We'll have snacks provided, but also it's going to be a great meeting point. So if you want to have a more private conversation in regards of how Veeam can help you build a better data resilience strategy, or when we're talking about, how can we better provide a strategy around data and AI trust, come stop by. And you can also book a meeting. There's a live link that's available. I'm on there. Derran's on there. Rayhan is on there as well. So if you want to have a deeper conversation with him, feel free to leverage that link so that way you can go ahead and schedule those meetings for that week.
Yeah, that'd be great. I always love when we have these leader lounges because it's such a more intimate, private conversation where you can really hear from the leadership of Veeam of what we have today, where we're going, and that's instrumental for people to understand Veeam and our future. So yeah, please reach out. We're really excited, and also don't forget, like me and Emilee, a number of other individuals from the strategy team are going to be at Black Hat. So please reach out. If you see us walking around, tap us on the shoulder, introduce yourself. We're excited to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the nice thing about this Leaders Lunch too is that after all the hustle and bustle of being inside of the booth area, right, you could actually go take a break, sit down, have a place to sit down, probably,
Yeah.
and be able to enjoy some refreshments on that. So, well, with that, I mean, I'm super excited. We are a few weeks away. This is going to be really great. Can't wait to meet everybody that's going. Derran, thanks so much for joining me today, and we'll see you at Black Hat 2026.
Thank you very much. Yeah. See everybody at Black Hat.